So just stand right there. Yep.
Nervous. Never done one of these before. So what's we gonna be talking about?
Stalin's reign of terror.
Oh.
The USSR, the leader in totalitarian nations and a bit of a death factory to those living there. How did Russia become one of the world's biggest fascist powers, and its leader, Stalin, become one of the most liked and hated people in the century at the same time? Simple. He was a dictator using communism as a scapegoat.
What do you mean Russia's fascist? We're communists. Just take a look at our flag. See?
But how did this average Russian man come to lead the largest country in Europe? Well, it all started with Lenin.
So, tell me a little bit about how you came into power.
Oh, well, it was World War I, and the Russians were losing horribly due to that incompetent Tsar Nicholas. The fool just kept throwing more and more citizens at that hopeless cause. The people were unhappy, having mini revolutions and all, and that's when the Germans approached me. They offered me a way back into Russia and politics. I was more than happy to accept.
And how did you get the Russian people to like you?
Oh, well, I just offered them bread.
Lenin did in fact offer them bread, among other things like lands from the higher class and peace with Germany. But the most important thing was bread.
Lenin promised us bread. That's why I follow him.
He gave us bread.
They really seemed to like the bread.
After Lenin came back and gave the people bread, a civil war broke out between the Bolsheviks and anti-communists. The communists won, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this documentary, and Lenin aimed to transform Russia into a complete communist society without poverty, unemployment, homelessness, and classes.
I would say I was successful. The economy flourished as I ruled.
However, Lenin died in 1924. And who would take his place? Perhaps one of Lenin's advisors, or someone who had fought with him during the revolution. But no, it was Stalin, a man who only wrote a few articles about the Bolshevik Revolution.
Yeah, I had a big role in the Bolshevik Revolution. I really was the key to our party's success.
So, what did you do after Lenin's death?
Well, I did what any politically upstanding person would have done and began growing my following behind my party's back. Not behind their back, per se. It was more of a thing of them fighting with each other and being too blind to notice me taking over the empire.
You never did anything illegal?
No, those political opponents were all victims of assassinations. Who knew murder could be so successful and random?
And what did you do when you finally had become the leader of the USSR?
Well, I progressed us forward, didn't I?
Yes, Stalin most definitely progressed the USSR forward, didn't he? Let's start with collectivization.
Yes. I remember when collectivization first started. Stalin rounded up them greedy culottes and forced them out, allowing us underappreciated farmers to get together on big community farms to produce food and materials for the country. That skinny one over there, Arseny, his family revolted on a collective farm back south in Ukraine. No one's seen them ever since.
Yeah, those collective farms are great. There's absolutely no famine or food shortages or anything. We have an overabundance of food, actually.
2 weeks later.
Food.
Stalin also came up with a 5-year plan in order to catch Russia's industrialization up to that of Britain.
Yes, my 5-year plan was very simple and easy for the Russian people to accomplish. I just set in place simple quotas farms and factories had to meet by the end of the month, and they usually met them.
Oh, those quotas, impossible to meet. No one ever meets those. Even if we never took any breaks or ate or slept, the materials would run out before our bodies would collapse. thing about lying is that if they catch you, they send you to the gulags. It's better to be killed by the secret, not so secret police than to be sent there. My cousin was sent there for 2 years of hard labor for putting the wrong number of shirts on an official record. It's been 4 years.
Yeah, the factories are producing wonderfully, top-notch in quality and quantity.
None of the shirts we made yesterday have sleeves. And the pants now stop mid-thigh. But Stalin pushes us to work, so what else can we do?
Since things were obviously going great with the civilians during Stalin's rule, let's take a look at some of those gulag prison camps.
Everyone here has committed serious crimes against Stalin and the USSR, and they deserve all the time they get.
I stole a piece of bread and got sentenced here for 5 years of hard labor. It's been 7 years.
I arrived 2 weeks ago. They said I wouldn't get food for another 3. I didn't mean to miscount the grain.
Stalin has been doing, rounding up these despicable criminals and sending them here, has been great for Russia. He's been cleaning the streets and making Russia an advanced and great nation. I haven't been to my hometown in a few years, but look at all these posters they're sending.
As seen, the USSR was definitely a communist state with a classless society, no poverty, prosperity, and happy citizens. Its leaders are those to thank for the political and economical success of the country. Stalin and Lenin defined Russia as one of the most advanced and industrialized countries in Europe. They brought Russia into her golden sunrise state, only that sunrise ran red with the blood of the 20 million Soviets who died at the hands of this totalitarian government. Without a doubt, totalitarian Russia was a huge success for fascism, but a horrible failure for true communism and Marxism.
I just got a brand new bag running, counting up cash running. That's your ass, dummy. That's your ass, dummy. I just got a brand new bag running.